Hello friends. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf registered an emphatic victory in by-polls held on July the 17th in the most populous province, Punjab. At stake were 20 provincial assembly seats that had fallen vacant following the disqualification of PTI lawmakers for switching loyalties before voting in favor of Hamza Shahbaz, the son of current Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. Hamza Shahbaz was elected as the Chief Minister in controversial circumstances in May, and the Lahore High Court had eventually then asked him to continue as the Chief Minister until the by-elections that were held yesterday, and now what will follow is the new election of the Chief Minister, the new Chief Minister. Now the PTI won 15 provincial assembly seats in the latest by-election, while former Prime Minister, three-time Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's party, the Pakistan-Muslim-League-N, could get only 4 seats in this hotly contested election. Now, what does this stunning victory mean for Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, which had fallen out of favor with the military establishment for its apparent nationalistic and pro-China inclination? Well, Khan's government was ousted through a dubious no-confidence vote on 9th April, and he had since been building up an aggressive campaign anchored in the claim that he fell victim to a conspiracy, to a regime change operation through the collusion of internal and external forces. He primarily held the military establishment as well as the US administration for the fall of his government, and Imran Khan also has been extremely critical of the traditional big political parties such as the Pakistan Muslim League and the Pakistan People's Party of former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto. He says, together with the military establishment, these parties have perpetuated the anti-poor status quo for decades, and the system that is based on the 19th century governance model. The victory literally means revival of hopes for new elections in the coming few months, and the results basically have literally boosted Khan's demand for the new elections that he has been making ever since his government was ousted, since the ignominious vote of no confidence against his government. Now, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and his coalition partner, former President Asif Ali Zardari of Pakistan People's Party, apparently had been hoping to carry through their government until August next year, when the full term of the current parliament would have expired. But now that goal or that possibility seems improbable with the latest turn of events in the Punjab province. Secondly, electoral victory in Punjab also means that the electorate has stamped Imran Khan as the most popular leader who had managed to galvanize large sections of population around his narrative of conspiracy and the reiterated resolve not to allow outsiders as to what Pakistan should do as far as the foreign policy is concerned. Live with integrity and self-respect. This has been a very categorical, electrifying message. Thirdly, Khan also electrified basically the people at large and his followers against all those conventional politicians who have been switching their loyalties before or after the elections as it suited them. The election is being seen as a strong rejection of those politicians, and this rejection basically came on the back of an apex court ruling that MPs elected on the ticket of one party cannot become an instrument for dislodging the government of their own party. Fourth, the bipoles have certainly helped in reinforcing Pakistan's democratic evolution and the role of key institutions such as the Election Commission of Pakistan and Pakistan's mighty military establishment. Lastly, the country's establishment might also now sigh a bit of relief, as Imran Khan had launched a vicious campaign blaming it for what he called missteps that led to political and economic instability of the country. He called it destabilization that was caused through the vote of no confidence in a time when all the economic indicators favored PTI's government. Anxiety around the future role of the current Army Chief, General Qamar Bajwa, also hangs in the air. His term expires in November, and so far there is no indication as to whether he will exit the system and who might replace him late November. It seems there's a lot more suspense and excitement in store for all those who are curious as to when and how soon Pakistan might see the next general election.